And welcome everyone once again to Knowledge Seekers Workshop. This is the 74th Knowledge Seekers Workshop of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. Today is Thursday, August 13th, 2015, and we'll start the workshop with the promotional video from the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute.
Where does humanity go from here? What have we tried to do? What if there is more, much more? The Keshe Foundation is proud to announce a new way to bring humanity forward through technology that brings humanity in line with the natural operation of the planet and universe itself. The new science and technology discovered and developed by the nuclear engineer Moran Keshe centers upon the use and control of magnetical gravitational fields. This new body of knowledge opens the road to hundreds of potential applications, which offer solutions to most of the fundamental problems of the world, such as water, food, environmental contamination, and shortages of energy. The Keshe Foundation is proud to unveil the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. The Institute will be able to provide students and staff an immersive way to learn the plasma technology, to be the leaders of the new generation of scientists and plasma engineers. The Keshe Foundation has opened the door to the world for peaceful usage of technology that is independent of the limited resources that are available on Earth. This is an understanding of how everything works together in harmony in our universe, and it applies to everything from the smallest to the biggest, from atoms to galaxies. We all are able to collectively work together in pursuit of knowledge, innovation, and solutions for our society. This learning environment is new to the world, where there will be no test to confirm your understanding. The knowledge of everyone will be respected and allowed to flourish in a nurturing environment. Hands-on testing and experimenting will be widely used in conjunction with roundtable discussions to bring all opinions and knowledge forward. Students will be introduced to a change in the ethos of working in collaboration. Students will experience firsthand how we share knowledge in a free and open manner. Graduating students are expected to share the knowledge they gain from the university within their respective communities and nations. All formal teachings, lectures, and presentations will be in the English language, with technology available for immediate translation. Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute will be offering 3-year Executive Master Programs for undergraduate degree students and 1-year Executive Master Programs for graduate degree students in the following fields: space transportation, new plasma technology, health, agriculture, materials, energy. The health section is designed to make students able to live in space without the need to return to Earth. To this end, the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute has found processes for many diseases including ALS, cancer, coma, epilepsy, multiple sclerosis. Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute will offer online teaching courses which will enable anyone, anywhere around the world to enroll and increase their knowledge and understanding. Students will have the opportunity to direct their work towards commercial spin-offs and seek funding through the help of the Keshe Foundation. The access to the new science and new technologies is openly available for peaceful use to the benefit of mankind to make a better world today. Now you can be part of the changing world and the new knowledge. All commercial spin-offs are intended to be open source and patent-free. This is part of the core ethos of the Keshe Foundation and the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute will have its official inauguration on April 21st, 2015, with courses commencing soon after on May 4th, 2015. The students of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute will be the leaders of the future who will make changes in all areas of space technology, science, medicine, agriculture, and energy. Anyone is able to apply, but acceptance is through invitation only. No prerequisites are required. We will be accepting approximately 250 students for the 3-year Executive Master's Program and 120 students for the one-year Executive Master's Program. We welcome humanity's participation in the knowledge of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. Where does humanity go from here? That is up to you. Apply today.
And so we'll just begin the workshop. We have the Nano and GAN's health workshop that's important today. But we'll let Mr. Keshe announce and go ahead with whatever he would like to present initially here. Hello, Mr. Keshe.
Yes, good morning. Good day to you, as usual, wherever you listen to these teachings. Today, most of us become a student to the new teachers in a way of new understanding of the work of the foundation and our health aspects. As you know, we have spent a lot of time in developing the energy side, and as we have seen now, the energy battery unit, which is rechargeable for indefinite time, has gone on position of display on the Keshe Foundation website, which means what they were asking for us to prove the proof of the technology. Now you can buy 1 5-volt everlasting rechargeable battery from the Keshe Foundation sister organizations around the world in the coming time, but it will be mainly done in China to start with. This has been designed and developed by Eric Clausen, which we asked to go to China to collaborate to develop and finish it. We thank Eric for his openness in sharing knowledge and unit into reality. This will be followed by the energy units, which we are developing and commercializing in the coming 45 days. So we have shown the correctness of the technology, not only by CO2, not only by the health belt, not only by the other aspects of the technology, which most of you have helped to put a structure around it in the past 12 or 18 months. Now we have come to the essence of why we are doing all these things, why we are producing the energy, why we are producing all these gadgets to be able to fly, to reduce the fuel costs. There is no essence in having these when there is no life. When there is nothing to use it, there is nothing, no purpose for it. The purpose of all these things we do is to bring comfort to our living, to have energy, to be able to light up the room, that we can walk away from darkness. This darkness is not just in the room. At the moment, the darkness sits in the soul of the man, sits in the knowledge of the man. So now we want to enlighten our life, the physicality part, and its effect on the soul of the man by the teachers of the future of the foundation. I'll sit in the background as a guider. If there is anything to add, I will add on. We bring new teachers, a school of adding use of the technology. This week, today, we start the real process of sharing knowledge. What does this mean? Is the most important thing to man is the life of the man, his physical entity of the existence. If there is no physicality, then the soul works on a different level. Up to now, human race has worked in different ways, in using herbs, in using roots, in using God knows whatever for centuries to change the condition of his physical pain, his physical discomfort. In the past 50-100 years, we've seen a rapid developing pharmaceutical, making everything as fast as you can to reach as many as possible for whatever reason. And some people have seen huge financial gain from this game. But the man in Africa cannot afford food, cannot afford the medical food of his body. With this sharing of the knowledge today, and we start from today, and the first 5 weeks will be done by you, not by me, is that we go back to our roots, to the tribal roots, sharing equally that we all have enough to be comfortable. Understanding that every member of this community of human race is needed. When you live in a tribe, when you live in a family, the weakest child is not ignored because it's still needed, because it's part of the family. So what we're going to do from today for next 5 weeks is to bring health to humanity across the world. We want you to test. We want you to bring your knowledge in. You're a doctor, you're a physician, you're a layman, you're a farmer, you are a mechanic. Whatever you are around the world, let us make the new cycle of health for man in a way that this time is not dependent on the tribe and where we are in the world, but as one collective unit. So what we have asked to do, in the background, test. Whatever you think can be done. You're going to toothache, test the technology, use the nanomaterial. Renan will take over this session after I finish. And then we want you to report back. We have to make the data. We have to make what I call the testimonial. You used it, what happened? How long did it take? And what was the result? Classify the diseases: toothache, migraine, stomach pain, muscle pain, cancer, whatever. There is no border. No one can dictate to man what he does for his health in his house, anywhere in the world. We are free. We are one nation, one planet. Through the health, because it's essential to all of us, we bring man to one family. We don't ask what's the color of Renan. We don't ask what he believes in. We don't ask what he's eating for breakfast. But we freely take his knowledge and share it, that we can use it for ourselves, for our children, for our parents, for our neighbors. So, as part of the roadmap for peace, health is essential. And if we can bring each other to one family throughout the world, through health, no one can object. Peace roadmap will not be fought by guns and by diplomacy. It will be won by the heart of the people when they work as one. And the health section is set to do that. I planned this over 6 months ago. And I've seen it coming exactly the way it's supposed to be. Ren has used the nanomaterial in different shape or form for his family, and he just posted the result. And he says he never touched them. He doesn't touch his child or himself or whatever with the nanomaterial. He covers the nanomaterial. It's done the correct way. He does not eat or drink the nanomaterial. He uses the effects of the nanomaterial, Gans state, gravitational magnetic field plasma, for changing the condition. I think, as they say, every man, if when I showed you the energy unit, now you've seen it, now you've seen it coming in the market, you've seen the belts, anybody who used it, they say they change. I was yesterday with a world champion racing higher speed boats, and his wife says to me, it's strange. The minute he puts the belt on, the pad, he has energy and the pains disappear, and the energy he gets is so much. We see not in changing the pain, but body needing the energy that he absorbs from the belt, from the gravitational magnetic field of the belt. A lot of people can't afford the belts, but all of us can find a piece of wire which we can burn, as Brendan showed us, to make a tool to change the condition of our physicality from pain.
Mr. Kesh?
Yes.
I think you played with a cord or something, or your headset turned off.
No, I am as fixed as anything. You got to ask those people who in the background don't want it to be listened.
Because you had some really good audio up to this point.
Yeah. We know. Don't worry. What it is, it shall be. I haven't touched anything. I'm in a free hand. Is it good now? On the other hand, as they say, the proof of the pudding is in eating it. No one can tell. I can tell you as much as you like what this technology can do for your health. But we can listen to testimonial of a man who knows the technology very well. And you see him in the picture, in the video, which Rick is going to show, that this was done in a presentation when Professor Meyer was in Keshe Foundation Center in Nino, in Belgium. And he wanted to make a presentation about the technology after Professor Meyer, because it was time for respected people in the organization of the Keshe Foundation to be able to bring forward the position of the foundation. This gentleman himself, you see him at the stroke, can't use his hand, and now he uses his hand very well in typing a lot of things on the internet. But his attestation confirms, because it's so close to the foundation, that how correct the work of the health is and how it's understood. It's only for a few minutes we listen to it as attestation of the man not only understood the technology, but have used it to his own benefit. And now he sees it as a danger to the others. So we pray for the soul of the people who stay in the path of the right. And let's listen to this, and then attestation is confirmation of the technology. And then we go to Renan for us to open a new door for the health section. But what I'm asking, and I'm asked in the background from Vince, is that the only way we bring all peace together is when we just look at the blood of the man and the love of the man. The blood of man brings a lot of pain. The love of man brings a lot of unity. So what I want to ask you is, we have Jews, if you have Muslims, if you have Iranians who are listening to us from the Islamic background, if you have Jewish people from Iran, if you have listeners from Tel Aviv or in Israel, I know we have a lot of followers in Israel. If you have Palestinians online, just think, is your blood any redder than the other one? Just think. The pain of amputation of a toe is any different for a Jewish child, for a Muslim child, for a Palestinian, for Iranian, for Japanese, American, or Chinese? And if the answer to you, for you to this question is yes, please leave. And if you want to bring mankind to our point, come online, we give you the floor. Would you like to play the video, please? This is the testimonial for a man who understood the technology and has used it. And you look at his left hand, totally paralyzed, now it's usable. And he's standing on top of the table of Professor Miles after this lecture in Keshe Foundation in 2012. And then from this testimonial, we go to Renan Dyer.
Okay, let me play that now.
So the basic, let's say, what is important is that we as Keshe Foundation share the knowledge of what we understand as being the theoretical concept of the plasmas, sharing it in the world, because there is logic, and we have real results when Mekran-Kesh heals people or reverses their conditions, retunes them in their position, and he can do that. That means that the logic he uses to make those medical reactors is correct. Otherwise, he could not do it. So the theoretical knowledge, the transfer of those ideas, the processes that he used in his thinking, these are thoughts, that is important. So the basic of his theory is that there is, and that is shared with a number of people, that there is in the cosmos a number of very, very small magnetic rays. And these magnetic rays make a kind of soup. So in fact, energy, this energy is everywhere. And it is to us humans to convert this energy in a way that it fits us. That's important. So like he said, man only converts. You see, so God creates, but man only converts. And then this is a beautiful concept where you have the neutron with the fundamental plasma, initial fundamental plasma, who has 3 elements in it. And it can decay in a proton and in...
would you like to stop the video?
So this...
Okay, thanks, Vince.
There you go.
Thank you very much. So we see in the testimonial of the man confirming the correctness of the technology, and he has used it, that now he can use it freely to type whatever he likes on the internet. So this is the purpose, sharing the knowledge freely, even though using the knowledge can lead to problem for the people who advocate the knowledge. Part of the problem we have, which we are hunted and chased for by the Belgian government, is for the technology which he has used to improve his hand and his life. And then on the back, we get the response. We don't look at the physicality, what it does. We look at what we can bring to the comfort of the man. That's all it counts. We are here to unite, not to divide. Doesn't matter how they structure their life. I remember a very good, not a story, but what happened is a man gets a heart operation to extend his life. They do a transplant, and he walks out of the hospital and gets killed by a car. Is the knowledge man was wasted, or was tested to see if it's able to do the job? We are in the same position. From today for the next 5 weeks, we're going to test. I encourage you. It's your decision, not mine. Extend the knowledge of the man that collectively we understand totality of the structure as it was explained in this short video. The work of the plasma, the work of the magnetic fields, and as a human, how to convert it at the point of need from what is being created by the Creator. It's in the book, the last sentence. Man, only a converter. You have to learn how much you convert, in what condition, in what way, that improves the life of the man, releases the pain of the man, creates food for the man, at the same time releases the man from the burden of physical life pain. Irrespective of your color, your race, your religion. When you go and you buy aspirin from a shop, when you go and buy a paracetamol from a shop, it doesn't tell you if it's for a white man, a Jew, a Christian, a Muslim. It works amongst, because it works only on the blood level, directly amongst all men. This is the technology of the Keshe Foundation. Blind to everything else but the comfort of the man, for the peace of the man. Renan, are you ready to enlighten us?
Yes, Mr. Cash, I'm ready, waiting here.
Good afternoon to you, and thank you very much for your time.
Good
You take
afternoon.
the floor, and I become your student.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon,
Go
everyone. This is Renan from the Philippines. So I just want to share my experience and also the applications of nano and GANs in our physical body. So I'm gonna share my screen so everybody can see. Can you see? Okay. Rick, can you see the share screen?
Yes.
I can see it fine here. How are you, Rick?
Everything is okay with us. Yeah.
Okay, so before I start, I put always a warning in all of my drawings, especially on health. So we need to be careful in handling these materials, the nanos and GANs, to avoid physically touching the skin with the nanomaterials and GANs. Always be reminded, and never consume or eat GANSes. We don't need to consume it. We just need interaction of fields. So this will be experimental, and we need to test it. So all of us followers here, we need to test it. I've tested it by myself in our family, many already for a week here, and we need to try this with our own risk. Okay, and it is our responsibility for our our health. So we have no approved therapeutic claims. We still have no clinical study published. We will be putting it out soon. Further study and consultation is required. So we need to have, as Mr. Rikesh said, about having testimonials. So we need to document it all. So we will have references soon. And for external use only, no intrusion to your skin, to your body. And do not apply to open wounds yet. So we'll further testing. So you can use cloth to cover sensitive skin areas before applying. So this is another warning. So all of us can see, avoid touching the skin with nanomaterials and GANs. Never consume or eat any GANSes. Always use protective or safety gloves, mask, anything in handling these items. So I will now go to the proper teaching. So this is what I tested. Testing 1, this is my first test item. A nano health wires. I call them nano health wires because it's basically a nano-coated copper wire. So my objective was to be able to relieve muscle, joint, and other pains in the body. And what methods I use are the following. The Foot Enhanced Reflexology Map Guide. So I'm gonna show it later. And I also use the direct point to the area of pain. So I advise that don't point it in the head area, only below the neck area. If you're gonna do something on the head, follow the Foot Enhanced Reflexology Map Guide. So what do we need? Pointed nano-coated copper wire, plastic tube, or a plastic accessory bead. And next is how to make it. So I know most of us here have experience in nano coating. So you just prepare not too long wire, so only 2 inches, any size you want, any gauge, any thickness, and a tube, same length to cover it all, and also a plastic round bead just to have a point that will hold it. So I'll show it. If those who don't know how to nano coat, you can refer to the YouTube's videos and Facebook groups who can teach you how to nano coat. Next is number 2 is how to make you form your nano coated wire in this shape. As you can see, there's a pointed portion and a bend here going back. So I'm gonna explain why later. Next is you insert the tube just to cover it so nobody can hold the nanomaterial, and you insert a bead. Or somebody use also, they extend the tubes if they don't have a bead. They just extend the tubes longer. So that this bead will be the one to touch the skin, not the nanomaterial, this plastic bead. If it needs, then you don't need to remove the clothing of the person if you are treating at the back. So leave clothes on. So next is just to make it, apply some glue or adhesive to make it stronger and sturdier. And you need to test it. So check and try the device. Try to let it float above your palm, not touching your palm, just above your palm, and feel the energy field beaming down. Rotate it clockwise, counterclockwise, just feel it. And upon doing that, you can feel like a laser field or a beam, an energy field pointing towards your palm. How to use? So simple. First, I always ask the patient about the history of the pain and his or her intentions to be healed. So if he wants to get healed. That's so basic. You need to set the mind of the person that he wants to be healed and set his emotions. The next is hold the nano wire, health wire at node B. So you can see node B and directly point it to node A, to the part of the pain or the reflexology foot hand chart to see the nerve ends of the certain parts of the body. The next step is you just send your healing intentions to that person through your mind, at the same time pointing the nano health wires until the person can feel some tiny electricity or a tingling sensation. You can ask him or her if she can feel it, or it's like heating up. So sometimes it numbs the area, so it can be 30 seconds or lesser. So until she feels or he feels that there's something getting in or getting out. So what are the points? So you can refer to the hand reflexology chart. So this is what I use, different parts. So head, brain, sinuses. You can download this in the internet. There are different kinds of maps. So you just point the nano health wires to the certain areas in the reflexology chart, and it works. I usually use the foot chart, this one. So you can have different parts here. So all are listed there, the lymph. So these are the nerve endings, no? Nerve endings located. So we can treat the whole body using the hands and the feet. And one thing I also understood is the energy flow of the body. For male, our left hand, our left area receives the fields, and our right area emits the fields or gives. And for the women, it's the opposite side. So usually I start treating with the entry of fields. So I start treating the entry of fields. Then after that, if there's still pain, I go to the opposite side, to the exit of fields, to make a continuous flow of the energy that is passing through the veins, the lymph, and the blood vessels. So here's the flow with your wire. So you have a basic wire. The flow is a magnetical and gravitational. So they're both wires flowing, but here we have maximized the direction and going to this point. So from there's fields flowing in, then all the fields here, I just draw two, but there's all fields around here. So all the surrounding fields are absorbed to this material. So nanomaterials are absorbing all spectrums of fields. So it is absorbed. Then our body receives what it needs, what our body needs. So if our body needs this amount, so it receives it. If our body does not need anything, it does not work in that area. So this is why it works. It just absorbs the energy in the surroundings, especially when you're the one holding it and your intentions is already an energy. So your intentions of healing is also sent through this channel. So you're just beaming in all the absorbed energy in you and the surroundings, as well as the intention of the person you are processing. Other configurations, possibly, this is one important thing. we need to know the right hand rule. In treating the processing body, we need to use the counterclockwise flow of fields, the positive fields, as just I observed. So using your right hand, right thumb pointing up, and when you close your fingers, you can see where it turns. So the field turns that way when the current goes up. So you direct it going up when you turn the fields, when you do the coiling. So this also applies in the energy system, the coiling. So, okay. Then the opposite, the clockwise flow still, your right hand, turn down, it goes, the direction of the field goes down. So this application, I think we don't use this in the body application, maybe in other applications in plasma for directing the fields. We use the counterclockwise flow. Different configurations. So I tried this one. So we have the normal counterclockwise twist on the end. You can see here. And also we have a counterclockwise single coil twist. So it can be a continuous loop. This has a different effect. This has an amplified effect, faster. I've tried one of these loops. It works faster. So there's also a counterclockwise counterclockwise double coil. So there's two coils, a coil inside and outside. So this works also fine. I tried this also. So some of the designs I made are use the pens. If you have your old pens here, as you can see, there is a removable guns held tubes. Maybe we'll just discuss this next week. So we'll just focus on the nanomaterials. Here, there's the coil and the pointed copper wire. You connect it, and this is an old hard plastic pen container. You can recycle, just remove the pen and you can use it. Instead of using the tubes, you have so many pens there, so we can use it, recycle. These are my products. So first, I just replace it here. This is nano-coated wire inside. And you can also see, you can have your ball pen still. Then here is a coiling. You just coil it and just point it. I'll show you the next picture. The other products. So here you can see, I focus here. There's the two pens and there's the nano-coated copper, a nano-coated wire here, very tiny. It still heals even at that direction. So only this plastic point touches the skin. Even I don't touch this point of the skin, it still works. So it's just it's a guide where you're pointing it. So I made plenty of it. So those I have made coatings. The one green tape are single coil. This one is a double coil. The thin tape is just normal, the ordinary, the first setup. And all it works. And we can have future designs to multiple. So it depends on how to load it with different ganses. So I need to learn and test on different ganses what are the effects yet. And here I have the portion that I have processed the different conditions. So toothache, so many toothaches here already. I have processed less than 3 minutes. Headaches, 5 minutes. Back pain, about 10 minutes. Muscle pains, about 10 minutes. Joint pains, 10 minutes. Jaw pain, about 3 minutes. Itchiness on skin, gone, about 3 minutes. So about almost 20 people already have been processed here, and I have also given out the design to my friends already, and they're using it, and it is also effective to them. So I already processed one doctor, a friend doctor, and she was really shocked when I applied two of the nano health wires on her foot, and suddenly her 1 week pain on her foot disappeared. So those are the things that they're so shocked that it disappears instantly. And I just explained to them what happened, what was the condition. In my understanding, it's just the fields in the surrounding, also my field, the fields of the person that heals, and the body receives it, and the body processes it to energize the different cells, and your body heals by yourself. So you don't need any medication at all. It's already built in our system. And I have another design here, which I think Mr. Kesh will soon elaborate. The different sizes of coils can be tested as well. So on different effects or different illnesses. So you can have a different size of coils, 10 centimeter coil, 9 centimeter, a different length. So which can treat different types of ailments. So these are for testing. So it's for us knowledge seekers to do these tests, and I believe this is already in our hands, so nobody can get this from us. So this will be shared to as many people in your community, the world, so that we will not be a slave again with all these drugs and medications. So everything here I've learned through experience, and also I thank Mr. Kesh for the knowledge. And here I have applied it and seen great results. And hoping that in the future we'll be expanding all our knowledge and keep on testing on the different things. And I will share here in the Philippines. Our team will share all our knowledge to the world, what we have learned. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all.
Great presentation. Thank you so much, Renan.
I think we have, in a simple way, the way Alex changed the. Just 1 second, please.
Even the animals agree.
This animal has been using the technology from really first, second month of his birth. He has a natural defect in his birth with his muscles, and he's been using the pads for past year or so of his life. He knows when it's good for him, and he goes for it, and he goes and sits in his nest when he's got a pain where the pad is. What I was explaining was that we saw how a simple demonstration by Alex a few weeks ago changed the world of energy. And there are people who have taken this now as a hidden patent and hidden things, taken it to Washington to set the American against the Chinese, and the rest of it that they developed a new technology. Knowledge of a simple man is getting used against the man for benefit of the people. Now we see what Brennan has shown. This will have a more profound effect on humanity, because we are all a slave to pain. We are all a slave to what I call the process of the birth, which is to end with death. Physical departure of the soul from physicality. But what is beautiful with this is that how, from the beginning, everything is well looked after. How the description of the warning, how the body is protected, no touching. And it's amazing how the pen of life is in front of you. The pens we've seen, I call them the pen of life. You write your own life story through the process of your physicality. The Keshe Foundation has already started the process of commercializing this. In the next few days, we send the copies to worldwide. We send it to Brennan to see it, and the team is working and is learning. As you've seen, he has shown a double coil inside, outside, the blue and the red one. This double coil, I explained to the team. I work with the team with Brennan in the background, and This is come from another part of the technology to here. The red is the gravitational magnetic field, and the blue is magnetical magnetic field. So that's why this system, this technology is so effective. You create a change in the environment without intrusion. So what the point of reference needs, it takes from the magnetical field line. What it wants to give out, which doesn't need, it gives it to the extracted from the body through the gravitational field line. That's why this technology is so correct. It's a balance of what the body decides. But notice something very important. You've never seen this double coil winding. This is what I developed, and now it's getting used for other purposes. And Renan, being part of the team we are developing other things with, he has applied it in the medical application. If you look at number one, counterclockwise twist or clockwise twist, this is the physicality. When you add the two coils on top of the line in the center, you touch the soul of the man, the emotion of the man. It's a huge difference. If you go back to the teaching of the health side, you needed the lymph, you needed the blood, and you needed the current information from the nerve, that the three bring the needed element to be produced at the point of need. Now you see this on the system number 3. Blue, the lymph. Red, the emotion. And the line carrying it to confirm it to be the center line is the nervous system. This is why this technology is so complete, and is a gift that such a humble man brings it to humanity. I have used these wires for years. When you open the plasma reactors which are built, in some of them you see it physically. You decide how the emotion is. In some of the original reactors, I use it if you loop it. When you have this double reactor, these double cores, connect the end to end and loop it. Infinity loop, which means it has gravitational inside and magnetical outside. Then you find the balance of point between the emotion and the soul of the man. But remember that you have to remember the emotion of the man when you do it. When two stars, twinity, two souls are connected, they are not connected just by magnetical. It's both magnetical and gravitational. So with the needle in the middle, you decide the direction of where the energy has a gravitational magnetical field to go. If you look at number 1, Renan has put a twist at the end. This twist is exactly the same as the feedback line we had with Alex. It's the same understanding. Whatever which is needed, which the body is using on the other end, and is surplus, it goes back in. That's why the technology is so rapid. This is the direction that the energy, what is called for inside the body of the man, releases or absorbs, or in combination with the two, because when you use the double coil, is given with the soul with it, with emotion with it. It remedies the condition of the soul, the emotion too. It's not just physicality. Because a large number of our pains are not physical, are emotion manifesting themselves in physicality. So when you use these double cords, the double pen cords, there is no patent on this. Remember, market it. Go out in every nation and produce as many as you can. These should be on every corner street for somebody to pick up. I call it the pen of life. Because if you, for example, you go back and look at the use of these materials, you find out that you touch both the physicality and the emotion. In one section, Renan goes back and refers to the length of different springs. The length of the springs dictates how much energy is absorbed, how much energy is needed, how much energy is to be released. And then you find out how you can change this. If it's a deep penetration, you use a longer. A guideline most probably is that you measure where the cancer is, you measure where the damage to your pain is inside your body, and 1 to 1.5 times the distance from the skin to the point should be the size of the spring. And when you get to 10, usually for the body of the man, within 10 centimeter, 5 centimeter, you should be able to reach the point of pain. We've seen in one of the presentations, he shows multiple pens inserts. We know this, we've done this from our childhood. We can buy pens, which is one is green, one is blue, one is yellow, whatever. When you come to use these, understand what you're doing. Because now you create a composite field. Remember what we said with the cups, where you put a cup of water and you put the different materials around it, cups, CO2 oxide, GANs, copper oxide GANs, and whatever. You have the same property now, because now the fields combined together refers to the point of contact with the body at the point of the pen. You can change the inserts to different materials, different coating. Even you can put ganses in between. And then you will understand how you transfer the energy for the point of need at the time of need. The most important thing is how much you want to change, what you want to change. But because when you use a double coil, it says, if you want to change. Psychosomatic pains would have a problem with this, because psychologically I want to show pain, that by showing off the pain I need to get attention. And when this pen becomes the lover, why do you want to get attention from somebody by showing your pain, your psychological pain in the physicality? Now if you understand how the system, especially with double core, works, you have found your match. Because now the pen with the double core winding is your lover. Is the lover who you want to get attention from. Physical pain through physical damage, you can use the straight pen without the windings. Fibromyalgia, FMS, Alzheimer's. In the process, we teach you more. There are more things in the background which we go through and we explain. Don't forget, now you look at this as one line. I have to get my camera right. But don't forget, you can use it as a coil. Clockwise or anti-clockwise. So the same way you nano coat coil, the same way you can do connect between two coils, one clockwise, one anti-clockwise, one gravitational, one magnetical. And then let's say you put these, if I write here, you put these on the side of a cup. So what happens is that so now what you do, you have the clockwise on this side, anti-clockwise on that side, or you can put two clockwise facing each other. You have two gravitational fields and two magnetical fields facing each other. Gravitational field takes out what is in the water that you don't need, and magnetical adds to what you need. The tightness of the spiral, the closeness of the spiral, the gap between the spirals, all counts. This way, you don't touch the body. This cup, as you see, if you go back in the teaching of a few weeks ago, in the when I showed you the cups which I make, I opened up and showed you the magnets. Now, this is not a magnet anymore. This is a universal magnet. It's what your cup will do. The water you drink is dictated by the rings. You can put the wire sticks on the side. If you open my reactors some 4 or 5 years ago, you see rectangular magnets when I want to connect interactions. When you make a cup, this is your cup, and you want to use it for cancer or whatever, you don't look. Remember, your limitation is in your mind. You put let's say, we make the green, red, magnetical, gravitational, and we put the green magnetical. But don't forget, if you looked at the cups, if I showed you, remember, go back and look at the health teaching. I put magnetical, gravitational, usually at the bottom. This way, this is exactly the same as the feedback we saw in the pen. We do not allow fields to be released, and with putting it here, we feed it back. And because the water now behaves as a wire, these magnets as a coils of nanomaterial behave as a lymph and the blood. So when you insert a nanowire inside, for example, with the coil outside, nanowire coated the way you have seen it. Now you go for a structural repair. You got to understand some important points. The tightness